Welcome to the Sounds Like Liberty podcast. This is episode 21 with the Launchpad Media, always launching ideas in your direction. I am your host, Lizzie, and I'm here with my fabulous co-host, Nicky P. What's up?
Loving the level of excitement in your voice, honey. I know we were playing a dangerous game by waiting too late on Sunday to do this, but we had that interview we wanted to do this morning.
Which was awesome.
It was a lot of fun. And then I got caught up in Facebook bullshit.
You know, I think Sunday is just one of those days that it's going to be what it is, and we're just going to roll with it. So
maybe you're just on your way back to work after a week off.
Yeah, you know, that probably doesn't hurt much. And I'm stoked. I'm kind of...
She's tired of me, folks. That's what she's trying to say.
No, that's not it. There's that gallows humor that you have at work, and quite frankly, I get flabby if I'm not lifting shit. So, you know.
I'm not flabby.
I get a little Zaftig.
No,
can
I
throw that on there?
I get a discount on buns, is what you mean.
Oh, all right. I can dig that.
No complaints here.
I can dig that.
Anyways, so we're gonna start off doing this here analysis.
Yes, I'm excited about this one because it's one of those artists my mom probably would have dug back in the day. Got Miss Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, you were like, really? What are we going to talk about with that song? It's not. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, I
care
know,
about?
And then you start throwing out the economics terminology, and I'm like, oh snap, we're going to take it there.
Well, I mean, I think that's the necessary place to take it with this song.
Well, no, absolutely. If you're gonna find something to talk about.
I think in our generation, the song's actually probably popularized by the
counting crows. Yes, very much so.
I like this version because it's shorter.
Okay.
The Joni Mitchell original version is much shorter.
Huh.
Okay. But we're talking about Big Yellow Taxi.
Yes, we are.
Now, this is a really fun song for me because if I haven't mentioned it on the show, I never know how much I talk about it. I've been talking about it more lately, but I'm kind of a hippie. Really into like nature and stuff like that. I was super pumped to take my kid out and tromp around the woods for an hour today.
That was super fun.
And then like not die.
Also that. We're a fan of not that.
But obviously this song kind of talks about those issues. I don't know that I necessarily agree with her angle on it. I think that she doesn't really know enough to understand what she's saying. But her heart was in the right place. And if only your heart being in the right place mattered.
Right.
It does not, unfortunately. So let's start out from the top. And since I'm the one that's pushing this one,
yeah, go for it.
I'll take care of it. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yep.
Okay. The first things first. How fucking presumptuous that this bitch is gonna decide what paradise is. And then she gets to decide what everything is worth, what the value in it is. Of course you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Moral, what we should say is you don't know what you've got until scarcity happens.
Right.
At which point, then you need to determine its fucking value. And maybe, just maybe, that parking lot is worth more than whatever the fuck it was you were talking about.
Before.
Maybe it's not, but you don't know until you establish value and what people are willing to trade off. And guess what? Not every fucking person thinks the same way you do about everything. It is a fucking narcissistic worldview that anyone would even write this goddamn song. So fuck you, Joni Mitchell.
She's just being a hippie, though.
Yeah, but she's fucking being stupid.
Oh, no, I don't disagree that is, it's a pretty unreasonable standard.
I really like this song, folks, just for the record.
That, just because there's trees there, it's obviously paradise. Trees make something perfect, don't you?
I love trees.
Trees are
I
awesome.
wish we had more trees. Guess what? We're actually reversing like the rainforest's depletion at this point, from what I understand. there's actually more green space on the planet than there was.
Well, I mean, you certainly hope they're doing something in that direction. Or else...
that's the thing. They're not.
Yeah, I know.
What they're actually doing is, technology's fixing it.
Yeah.
Because we don't need as much space to do all the shit we used to. But we would have never got there if we'd listened to Joni Mitchell and just stopped human progress.
And that is a thing.
They took all the trees and put them in a tree museum, and then they charged the people $1.50 just to see them. What are your thoughts on that one, Liz? Because I know what I think about it.
Please, go on. You seem like you're on a roll.
Added value. You've now actually just established a price point for what it is. Guess what? Now that all that money that you're making off of those trees in that tree museum, perhaps you can utilize that to do something that might actually keep more greenery around.
Well, and that was what I thought. You know, if you have people who are interested in learning about trees, then yeah, maybe you can inspire some arborists, and maybe you can, save some more things with that money.
Well, just for the record, you're not keeping trees in a tree museum if they're worth more not in that museum.
Yeah.
How are they in a museum if they're worth more than that to some other use? And just for the record, just looking at trees is a use. Mm-hmm. And if we ever reach the point where we have so few of them that we can't fucking breathe, well, they'll probably be really expensive to have because we don't want people to die. All that money that you think those capitalists are so greedy and hoarding, well, they're never going to spend it if they're dead. Moreover, all those greedy capitalists, all that money that they're putting in the banks is also what people start small businesses with, because the bank can't loan you money it doesn't have. It's not really like a Scrooge McDucky vault situation. Now, it's complicated thanks to the Federal Reserve Bank, but that's another matter in and of itself.
Sure.
Why don't you take the next one, because I'm probably going to blow gasket just looking at all this nonsense.
Don't it always seem to go that it...
You gonna repeat the chorus?
What you got till it's gone. Yeah, you repeat the chorus. Okay. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away the DDT. I don't care about spots on my apples. Leave me the birds and the bees, please. And I always thought that was funny, because I'm not sure that DDT is actually what they used for that, but...
I'm going to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. DDT was used to kill mosquitoes, I believe, correct?
I thought it was an insecticide.
Well, I mean, insecticides are used to kill bugs so they don't eat the plants. That's what spots on plants are.
I suppose, yeah, a little.
You don't want worms and stuff in them.
Wormhole.
But DDT in particular is actually, I believe, to kill mosquitoes so people don't get malaria.
Oh, well, yeah, that would be...
I could be mistaken in that.
Different.
My point being, well, sure, you don't want to buy, or you'd rather have spots on your apples. Well, if they start killing off the birds and the bees, the market will say, stop doing that. Like, oh wait, it did.
Right, which is why, organic...
There's a problem, let's fix it.
Farming is a big deal now, and they're trying to find less caustic things. And trust me, I am no friend of the toxic shit they put on produce right now. I'm really not thrilled about it, but there is a certain amount of credence to the idea that you do need some of that to produce some of the stuff that we have out there. And I think the market can definitely help them come up with better solutions.
Well, and I think that's the ultimate thing, is it? So, yeah, great. It's awesome for us here in the States where we have the wealth that we can do a lot of this shit. What about over in, like, Africa where people die of fucking malaria and shit like that because of, the mosquitoes and the bugs over there? I think they'd love a little DDT.
And, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, make a better solution, and then we'll flip and use that. Like... But don't just be like, stop doing what you're doing.
You need to understand the value of that. And, like, to do that, you need to go through certain hoops, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure with this song, she's advocating for more EPA regulations, and we all know how I feel about how the EPA is literally destroying the environment every day, both outright and by omission.
But I'm sure there's a certain amount of, like, if there weren't the lobbyists and the cronyism that there are, you could come up with a better solution a heck of a lot faster than they have.
Oh, and but Liz, before it ever even gets to that point, just the letters EPA existing as a government institution makes people believe that somebody else is dealing with the problem.
Yeah.
So they don't have to. I would love to see a company get sued into fucking oblivion because they pollute.
Yeah.
You can't do that now because as long as they're within EPA mandates and EPA restrictions and they've paid their fines if they did go outside of them, you have no legal recourse against them.
Right, which is crap.
You couldn't get 300,000 people in a market to sue them because, well, we're within the law. We set the law. The problem is that they are the ones that set the fucking law. They put people in those positions at the EPA to make sure that it looks like the EPA is doing something, but not really.
Well, yeah, and how
It's an
dare she
illusion.
lay that shit at the feet of farmers?
The
Because
shell
I feel
game.
like, yeah, I'm sure there are farmers who are just out to do whatever, probably somewhere, I guess. But I know there's a lot of family farmers that, like, they're just trying to do what the fuck they can to get paid and, like, keep the farm going.
Well, I mean, and let's not look past it. Nothing the government has ever done with farming has been good. It's just created
way more problems.
Well, it's created waste and fucking, like, literally when you're paying farmers not to grow shit, that's retarded.
Yeah. Like, free the flippin' farmers, people. That's
If
what
they're
you
gonna
really
fail because they
should
can't
do.
grow shit, that's their own business. I'm sorry. If they're really bad at farming, they shouldn't be farming.
Yeah.
Someone else should buy that property and do it for them. I know it sucks to hear that because, well, we don't want to do bad things to who we think are good people, but we also don't want to waste resources, and that's what that is. It's a waste of land, and it's a waste of productive opportunity that could be out there for other people.
Well, I mean, what irks me so much is, like, farmers could find better crops. They could find things that work better for different uses if they just didn't have to grow what the government says they have to grow.
All right. Now, we got one last verse here. Last night I heard the screen door slam. Late last night I heard the screen door slam. Mm-hmm. And a big yellow taxi took away my old man. And you know why I fucking think that taxi took him away? Because this bitch is dumb. Really, really dumb. Is so high she couldn't look at what was going on around her and understand the way the world works.
Well, I always thought it was
He had to get the fuck away.
odd that they have that. I mean, what does that verse have to do with frigging any of the rest of that shit? Is it just because you don't know what you got till it's gone? Is she saying, like, she wants him back? He should want her back? Like, what is that about? What does that have to do with it?
I think she's implying that he's gonna know now that he left that she was worth it.
Ah, okay.
And her moral preening had nothing to do with that.
I see. Okay. Well, there you go.
I would just give you one little guess as to where I'm putting this on the fucking scale.
Are you putting it on the commie side?
Straight up Bob Dylan horse shit.
Because it's bad capitalists? Is that where the vibe we're getting here?
I'm not even going to answer that question.
All right, fair enough.
I feel
Fair
like
enough.
I've just ranted.
I mean, I thought I didn't, get all
How did
those
you think we
vibes
were going to go?
from that, so.
How did you think we were going to approach this song? Because you couldn't come up with a reason. You're like, why do you want to do this song? Man?
Yeah. Well, no, and I wasn't approaching it from that angle. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
Just remember,
I
this
can
is a
stand by
song
that.
about how you need to live your life
Right.
to make things the way I want them to
Which
be.
does sound very, very calming. It's true. So yeah, I'll stand by that, Bob Dylan.
Just for the record, the people that would, and the way that they would fix this is usually government, and government is always the worst polluter in any fucking situation. Look it up, kids.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, moving along.